guys, welcome back to Critical Flick, and today we're going to be going over our spoilers and a more in-depth thoughts about Avengers Endgame. Alright guys, if you don't want to see any spoilers, definitely click off now. We're going to really jump into it. I think the one thing that people really wanted to know leading up to this movie is who is going to die, what characters are going to be lost in this huge battle, and yeah, let's just start talking about that.
Yeah, Black Widow dies in this movie, and she sacrifices herself just so Clint can be with his family, essentially.
Yeah, I honestly did not see this death coming. That's one of the characters I feel like no one was thinking about. We all thought some of the bigger ones, but Black Widow, I'm kind of upset. I thought she was an interesting character, and I thought we could see more of her, but her being gone is a little upsetting to me. But sacrificing yourself for the Soul Stone, that was one of the more impactful moments in the movie. Her and, Hawkeye just trying to it really hit home.
It also showed their relationship, because they've had a relationship in every movie, and their bond, and it was really touching. I cried.
Yeah, it's one of those old school earlier Avengers movies. You forget how much they were together because they've been separate for a little while now, and it really having that all come back together and have it ripped away was pretty something.
Big death in this movie is Iron Man. I thought it was either him or Captain America going to die, and he is the one that perishes.
Let's be honest. I was fully sold that it was going to be Captain America. I had honestly no thoughts that Iron Man was going to die, especially having it set up with him having a child and all that. I never saw this coming. So when he does the epic moment, he says the "I am Iron Man" line, the iconic line, snaps his fingers to defeat Thanos, and then he dies. I just did not see that coming at all. And I don't think anybody in our theater did.
I knew it was one of them. So, I was expecting either or to die. So, I cried still because it's an impactful moment, and there's all the Avengers there at the end, and you're like, this is really rough.
And obviously, as you expect, Thanos dies, but he dies actually twice in the movie, which is interesting. They had him die 2 times, but I thought that his battle to defeat him was a fitting end to defeating his character.
There's some real standouts in this movie besides the deaths, and I thought Thor was a main standout in this movie.
Yeah, I thought his performance was great. I really like how they've taken Thor in this fully comedic lane. And the ending of the movie, when you see how Thor is going to be integrated into the Guardians line, he fits so well.
Oh, yeah, just do it. Just do it. I would be so excited.
Yeah, honestly, Ragnarok really showed me how funny that this character can be. He was always kind of bland to me in the first 2 movies. And then seeing him fit in there, he's going to fit seamlessly. We saw it in Infinity War a little bit. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Oh, everything about that character I loved in this movie. Captain America, complete BA in this movie. He had some very cool, powerful scenes.
Oh my, obviously, the scene, if you've seen the movie, when he picks up Thor's hammer, the theater went crazy. That's probably
awesome.
That is the craziest I've ever been in a movie when people just lose their minds. I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that was just everything leading up to that was worth it. Just to see that scene when he's kicking Thanos' ass with that hammer.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
And he was the only one to stand up against Thanos and his army. Then all of a sudden, because there's a whole time travel thing that involves in this movie, but all of a sudden, all the other Avengers appear, and it's just a glorious moment. It is so cool. It all fits so well together. I had goosebumps because I was like, dang, this is really cool.
Yeah, the moment where you think that, things are really going south for the Avengers, and then you hear Falcon's voice come over, the intercom thing in Captain America, and then they open up these portals, the Doctor Strange and everyone come through, all the old people that had been snapped out by Thanos pop back in. It's it was literally your epic moment of all the good guys versus the bad guys, the end-all be-all battle.
Yeah.
And they really pulled it off.
They had everyone. Anybody you can imagine, they were there to fight, and it was really powerful.
It was great seeing all those characters and using all their powers working together. It was really good.
Yeah. So this movie heavily focuses on time travel or quantum physics or whatever they want to call it in the movie. And that is the big part in it, how they get all the Infinity Stones from past battles or...
Yeah, obviously they're harking back to the other previous movies where the Infinity Stones were taking place, like the Battle for New York and Avengers, when Peter Quill finds it in the first Guardians. They're just going back and capturing the stuff from there, and that didn't always make a whole lot of sense.
The problem with time travel, you can't really think about it, because a lot of this stuff is not going to make any sense if you actually sit down and think about what's happening and them going back, how much does that actually affect like the other movies that happen? It's just like all too much, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of have to do it this way. I thought that they handled going back in time very well. I was kind of worried when I first knew the idea of this movie is going to go back in time that the whole movie was just going to be, all right, oh, I remember that scene. I remember that scene, just really being fan service of the different movies. But it didn't take up a humongous chunk of the movie.
And in this movie, when everything happens, there's 5 years that pass, and then the huge battle at the end, it's 5 years later, and all the Avengers come out, and it's confusing to me. When I was actually thinking back on a lot of things, it's just it's a superhero movie. They did it.
You just have to go with it. I mean, it's one of those movies where I can't argue time travel in a movie where it's about superheroes. Like, I feel like I'm getting very nitpicky, but that would be my one criticism of someone who's trying to be very objective about it. That the timeline doesn't make a ton of sense.
I don't think it's picky, because any movie that has time travel is going to be very objectified.
Yeah, because the rules of time travel are obviously made up. Time travel is not real, so.
But I thought they handled it well. I thought the 3 hours, yes, the movie's 3 hours, but I think it paced itself pretty well. There's probably like a couple scenes where like, you can cut and slice and take them out, but other than that, like, I was really worried. That was like going into this movie, I was really had a negative effect on me that it was 3 hours long, because I'm not a good movie theater person in a movie theater that long.
Yeah, I know that's something that if you've seen our channel and watched a lot of our reviews, one of our common criticisms with most movies that are really long is the length. Mm-hmm. If your movie is over 2 hours long, over 2.5 hours long, you're gonna feel that, because that's a long movie. But this one, I was fully invested, and I know that she typically can't sit through a movie that long, and she was in it, So that just tells you how interesting and compelling this movie is, and some great character
And
moments.
I'm actually considering seeing it again. So, like, I never see a movie twice in a theater. So
especially a movie this long.
The last one was Mission Impossible Fallout. So
yeah.
I could tell a little bit, but it wasn't terrible at all. There's a lot of touching moments in this movie. We're not going to hear and spoil everything, but there are like ones with Tony Stark, Captain America, Thor. They all have like these moments are really personable for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of reconnecting of characters that have been separated, whether it be by the snap or just not being together for a long time because of the way the stories work out.
Or time travel.
Yeah, so having everyone kind of meet up with someone in their life that's very important to them that they might not necessarily been able to had some really touching moments. Very heartfelt. This is by far, in my opinion, the most emotional, I'm going to say definitely Marvel movie, but maybe even superhero movie that I've ever seen. It really relies heavily on the emotions when you watch this movie.
Yeah, long time coming.
Yeah.
All right, so this is our spoiler review of Avengers Endgame. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the movie. Did you like it, love it? How does it rank amongst the other MCU movies for you? And yeah.
See you guys next time. See ya!
See ya on the flippity flip.
See you later, warehouse. Catch you on the flippity flip.